If you're watching this, there's a very good chance that you realize that RSD has deleted a ton of their old videos and some of the coaches are no longer associated with the company. So what happened? I'm gonna get into that and much, much more in today's video. So let's dive right in. I'm Michael Dennis and I make videos about confidence, productivity, and happiness so you can get shit done and love every step of the way. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in, hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. And also I have a few important channel updates, but I'm not gonna say them right now because I don't wanna waste your time in case you don't care. If you do care, you'll stick around to the end to hear those. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump right into today's topic, which is RSD, or Real Social Dynamics. In case you're not familiar with it, it's a company of dating coaches who go around the country doing seminars and boot camps, they call it, where you go and learn how to talk to women. And they sell online courses and they make a ton of free videos on YouTube as well. And so why am I talking about this right now? What do I have to do with RSD? I've actually never worked with them in any capacity, nor have I even bought any of their paid products. However, back when I first got into personal development about 2 years ago, I watched almost all of their free content, especially that of Max, Julian, and Tyler or Owen. I've said this before and I'll say it again, even though it's pretty embarrassing, but the way I got into personal development was with one simple Google search: how to talk to girls. And the reason why that was because I had a girlfriend for a long time for the beginning of college, and then after we broke up, I'm sitting here halfway through college with no idea how to talk to girls. Luckily, I stumbled across RSD because that taught me pretty much everything I knew for at least like a year of watching all their videos. That's how I went basically from 0 to 100, going from being terrified of approaching girls to being able to do it with ease. But it doesn't stop there. Learning about how to talk to girls actually turns out as a very transferable skill, at least in my opinion, because it grows your charisma, your confidence, and all these other great things. You even start to touch on things like spirituality, like being present to the moment. So to understand what happened over the last couple years with RSD, it's important to know who's involved. First of all, there's Owen Cook, also known as Tyler, who's pretty much the guy who created it all and runs everything. And then there's Julian Blanc, who, if you don't know about him through RSD, you definitely have heard of him through his media scandal, because at one point he was considered the most hated man in America, or in the world maybe. And it's basically because he had a very edgy and controversial kind of approach to it and said some kind of outlandish things that then were taken out of context and then blown out of proportion, and everything just went crazy. And then another huge player was RSD Max, or Max Berger, who now I think is going by the name of Max Tornow. I'm not really sure what that change is all about. I don't think he's made that public. I don't know if he just went and changed his last name or is going by something else, but who knows? And then there were some other ones like Jeffy, Luke, Todd, Madison, amongst others. So what exactly happened to each of these guys? Well, Owen, or Tyler, he's acting like nothing's ever happened. He is still kicking, going strong with RSD. He's saying that he's taking it in a new direction. Who knows what that means, but if you've seen any of his recent videos, they're not quite exactly the same. He has like a little bit of a different spin to it, but also a little bit higher production quality. So another one of these coaches, Todd, apparently was kicked out of RSD. He was canned, fired, whatever the case may be. I'm not really sure exactly why, but he has his own channel now, which is Todd V Dating. And what happened to Julian and Max, these guys that I looked up to so highly? All of a sudden, one day I went to go look back at one of the old videos that was actually featuring both of them. It was a great video, and I couldn't find it anywhere. In fact, I found that I couldn't find any of Max's videos anywhere, or really any of Julian's anywhere either. So what happened to them? Well, what I think ended up happening was they ended up leaving RSD for their own reasons. I think Max to pursue his freedom business mentoring stuff, and Julian, I don't know if it had to do with the scandal or what it was, but basically, apparently RSD is very strict. When someone leaves, they really just like to cut them off, which I guess probably means deleting all of their old videos. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is what happened, but based on what I've been reading and finding on the internet, it seems to be probably the most logical option. And if you know anything more about this, if you know exactly what happened, let me know. But hold on, wait, this might actually be a good thing. When I first found that those videos were all deleted, I was devastated. I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to watch those again. I'd love to watch a couple of those and refresh my memory because they were such good videos, great content, and now they're gone. But the good news is, all of these guys have moved on to different paths, which are actually a little bit less controversial and a little bit less frowned upon, I guess you could say, than being a pickup artist. Tyler or Owen or whatever you want to call him, while he's still doing a little bit of a pickup focus, he's actually shifted a little bit more to just charisma in general, being able to socialize better with people. Julian is doing a transformation mastery program where he's doing seminars all over the country, healing people's childhood trauma and all that sort of good stuff. It's more about raising your vibration, which I'm all about. I'm huge into spirituality, so I very much support that. And Max, he is all about the hustle. He's been making videos recently about his new company, Freedom Business Mentoring, where he basically teaches people how to become mentors or coaches in whatever area they like so that they can make, he claims, up to 4 or 5 figures a month. And so while these guys are no longer using their knowledge for pickup, I think it's actually a good thing that they're not, because now they're applying themselves to other fields which are honestly probably a little better. And what do I mean by better? Well, I think that means right now is my time to share my thoughts on the pickup artist or PUA or pickup community in general, whatever you want to call it. So you can approach pickup in one of 2 ways. You can either be kind of the low value guy, and so for that reason you decide to lie and manipulate and really have to sell yourself so that you can get a woman that honestly you probably don't really deserve. Or there's the other way, which is to realize, okay, maybe these type of women that I want are a little bit out of my league. So instead of trying to falsely bring myself up through lies and manipulation, I'm going to better myself. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start working harder. I'm going to learn how to interact with people and girls so that I can be a high value man that women want. And so from what I've seen, I think that RSD actually falls into that latter category. A lot of the times what they were talking about was really important stuff, like going to the gym more, learning about spirituality, like being present to the moment, talking about The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, for example. And never did they encourage you to lie to women or even really manipulate them in any way. So essentially, pickup is what you make of it. If you see it as a thing where you have to lie and manipulate women and really sell yourself to be able to get these women, then that's what you're gonna end up doing. But if you see it as a way of bettering yourself, then that's what you're gonna end up doing. And so in my opinion, I think it's a great way to learn these lessons, like things that they used to say all the time, these buzzwords that they always use were like freedom from outcome. So not really caring so much what other people think of you, not needing validation, that sort of thing. Or overwhelm the thinking mind with action. If you're thinking so much, you're all in your head, go ahead and do something. Like just approach that group of people or approach that girl or whatever, because then it'll get you out of your head and into the present moment, even if you don't feel like you're ready. These are all very valuable lessons, and they're things that I wouldn't have learned if it weren't for RSD and for the pickup community in general. So for that, I may as well say thank you. The only other 2 things I guess I'll touch on are 1, the really, really high prices. So I've heard in terms of kind of psychology and when you're trying to sell things like online courses, it can be good to make really high prices, because if you do that, then people will feel like, first of all, that your product is of a high value because it has a high price. And once they've paid that much money, they're really bought in because they don't want to waste their money. So they will really kick their own ass to make sure they get the job done. And then if they get the job done, then they basically feel like they got their money's worth. So many people see these high prices like $3,000, $5,000, or even $10,000 for some of these events that they put on as kind of a scam. And honestly, maybe that's what it is. If you consider that psychology that I just explained a scam, then maybe it is. But on the flip side, if you do end up paying $5,000 or $10,000 and it does really change your life, was it a scam? Who knows? That's up for debate. And the last thing I'll touch on here about the RSD and the pickup community in general is the idea that some of these videos might have been kind of faked. So there are a lot of videos that you'll find out there of guys from these programs approaching women in real scenarios, like in bars, clubs, or even out in the streets during the day or at the beach or who knows what. And so while you love to think that they are all 100% real, there have been people making rumors saying that maybe they're scripted, maybe they find people on the street and say, hey, I'll pay you $50 or $100, whatever, if you just have an interaction in this certain way. Who knows if that's what's going on? I don't know if that's what they're doing, or who knows. But just next time if you're watching one of those videos, just keep that in the back of your mind that maybe it's not real. Who knows? All right, so now it's time for those little channel updates that I was talking about. Just a couple small technical things, or 1, welcome back to the gray wall. If you've been here for a while, you know that this is where I used to film for a couple months, but then I actually got some comments of people saying that they didn't really like it, so I started to change up the backgrounds and film other places. So if you do like it, let me know. If you still don't like it, also let me know. But this just happened to be the best place to film for today's video, so deal with it. And secondly, I don't know if the audio is gonna be very good or not, but if it's not, it's probably because this little puffy thing on the mic fell off and I don't know where to find it. I think the cat might have started playing with it and it might be under something somewhere, but I really need to try to find that because I don't know if the sound quality is still gonna be the same without it, but hopefully it is. And last but not least, in terms of my last video where I was talking about whether or not YouTube is right for me, it's been very mixed emotions over the last few days. Like some parts of me were like, yeah, maybe I'll just cut it down to 1 video a week, but then start to try the life coaching thing. And then other times I've seen videos, like today I saw a video of a guy who has 1 million subscribers, and 10 years ago is when he started, and he said the first 5 years he didn't really see any growth, and then it was year 6 where he really started to kind of pop off. So that sort of really long-term mentality makes me kind of want to stick to it a little bit. So I don't know. The real update here is that no, I haven't come to any sort of decision on what I'm gonna do, but I'm thinking about it actively, so I will continue to let you know. And with that being said, this video is just about over, but before you go, be sure to check out that video because it's kind of related to this one. In fact, it is a topic that they used to talk about in RSD all the time, but once their videos were deleted, now I'm the #1 search result in Google sometimes for that topic because all of their videos about it are gone. So, oh well. Anyway, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and I'll see you in that video. Peace.